everyone, welcome to Basically Neda. I am Neda and this is my June wrap up. Yes, I know I'm kind of late, so I'm gonna do it anyway. I finished 3 books this month, like month of June. I finished 3 books, but I was also working on two other books, so technically 5 books that I was reading, but I finished 3. And that's only because the Libby app kept giving me all of the books, and it was kind of hard to like manage reading 5 books at the same time. So yeah, the first one that I finished in the month of June is The Once and Future King by T.H. White. This was a 3-star for me. It is the story of King Arthur and like his journey. So it's also put in like 5 different division of books. Like there's 5 different books into one, basically. So the first book, the first 2 books are Arthur meeting Merlin, and then how he becomes king and those kind of things. The third one is about the Knights of the Knights of the Round Table and Lancelot, basically. And then the 4th book is about King Arthur's children and how they feel about everything and that has gone through. The last book is King Arthur and Merlin again, and I really enjoyed that dynamic of King Arthur and Merlin together. Merlin is very much the comic relief in this. It's kind of like it's eccentric character who's always bringing all the fun into the adventures. So I wanted more of that, and that's why I ended up not giving it the 4 or the 5 that it needed. The other part that I didn't really like was it was very long. It's just it didn't need to be that long. So yeah, that's it is a epic fantasy, and like it goes into all the details and those kind of things, but it was just way too long for me. And that's probably why I finished 3 books instead of 5. So yeah, that's why I like that one for 3 stars. The second book that I finished was The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. This was a 3.5 star for me. It would have been a 4 had I gotten it when I wanted to get it, because I had to wait a year for this. Okay, I applied for it on the Libby app. Like I put a hold on it on the Libby app like a year ago, and then it took a whole year for it to come. The problem is that the library that I have near me, they didn't have it, so I would have to go to another library, and then that one had a huge hold as well. So I just put a hold on it on the Libby app, and then that took a long time to come. So at this point, I was just like, okay, I need to read it just because I want to read it. So the story was okay. It was mostly based on like the characters, and there are 3 main characters in it, and you're just following those 3 main characters. But the part that I didn't like is just like it's very much just character driven, and I like the plot to be more driven. So it's very well written. It is like the characteristics of like each character is very well done. I just didn't click with them. They're just too different and just, well, I like being reading different characters, but this was just because it's grimdark. It was kind of gory and those kind of things, and you just have to be in the mindset for it, and I guess I wasn't at that point, and that's why it was just not for me. I don't know if I'm gonna continue with the whole first law trilogy, so maybe later, because it was really hard for me to get even the first one. So it's probably going to be harder for me to get it the next one. That's why I'm just not gonna go into it for the, like, it's not worth it for me. Maybe later on, if I have the ability to like maybe buy it or something like that, maybe I'll go into it. But right now it's not my priority. So the third book that I finished, which is right here, you see. So I finished A Master of Djinn by Djeli Clark, and I gave this one a 4-star. This was really fun for me. I had a really great time reading this. So that was why, like, it, the only problem I had with it was the pacing. That's the reason why it was a 4. It would have been a 5-star because it was really good. It was really well done. So this is a book about like it is a fantasy mystery that follows a lead detective, the female detective, and it is in Cairo in 1912. So those things just made me want to read it, just by those little elements that I know about it. I just wanted to read that. It has a female to female relationship, both in the friendship and like a partner, a personal relationship with a partner who's a friend, like the LGBTQ kind of thing. It was very well done. I also like the fact that it's like fantasy, like it's talking about Djinn and those kind of things. The culture and history of Cairo are in the 1910s are very well presented in the story, and it's very well done. That's part of why I liked it the most. So the pacing, it was going very well from the beginning until like the 3/4 part, and then it just like slowed down and then it picked up again. So that was part of why like I didn't really give it a 5-star. It was just, yes, it's a unique story and everything, and it's from the perspective of a female who is trying to fix the world, basically. And that part actually was the best part of it, but if it was just the pacing for me. So I mentioned earlier that I also had 2 other books that I was reading and I had started reading, and I had a problem finishing them because I had too many books at once. So the other 2 books were Brandon Sanderson's The Way of King, and you can tell that it's a huge book. I have the physical book, but it's actually on my bed shelf. Like, it's huge. So my problem with that one was just like every time I would pick it up, it would just like fall on top of my face. So that's what, like, one of the reasons why it took me a long time to, like, I haven't finished it yet. I'm going to finish it for this month, hopefully, for July. But I will talk about that one if I finish it at the end of July. And it's good. It's just too big for me to hold and read in bed. So I just gave up on reading it in bed. So it took a little longer, and I'm gonna read it during the weekend and during the day when I'm not going to sleep. So the other book that I was also reading is Jade City by Fonda Lee. I'm almost done that one, but I couldn't finish that one because I was reading that and The Way of Kings together. So they're both are kind of like at the end of June. I was 30% in for both of them. So I am now mostly done Jade City and going to finish it pretty much for July. And I will hopefully finish The Way of Kings for July. So yeah, those were the books that I read for June. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.